Welcome back everyone, and today we'll be exploring some of the craziest map templates in ERLC, ranging from floating racetracks to downtown diamond interchanges and so much more. So I do hope you enjoy this video. One of the last videos we'll be making on the current ERLC map, and that's why we're making this video right now, because in a couple of weeks all of these map templates will be gone once a new map comes in. So do hope you enjoy this video, subscribe if you do, and let's get right into this. So to start with, Ollie and I have grabbed ourselves a car. Now by all intensive purposes, this is a very normal looking track, but we're not here for the track, we're here for what's in the tunnel. And if you look closely into the tunnel, you can see what looks to be a half pipe wrapping around the exterior wall, which quite literally allows you to drive on the walls. Lined up on the start line here. 3, 2, 1, go. Gave myself a tiny bit of a head start there. But what we're going to do, immediately cut across Ollie here and try and get ourselves onto the wall. And take a look at this. You can quite literally drive on the walls and carry so much more speed. It's a very short track, so we're just going to race around and I'm going to try and show you how we can overtake using the half pipe on the tunnel walls here. So, oh, getting a bit pushy there, but pretty good racing so far. Now we are slightly behind Ollie, but the plan is we're going to try and slingshot ourselves around the outside, and you can see how much more speed I'm able to carry. Look at that. Look at that. We're just able to slingshot right past him. It's so cool, honestly. It's so cool. I've always wanted to be able to do something like that in ERLC, but it was never possible till now. There we go. Come across the line to finish in first, although a bit of trickery used there. Let's move on to the next map template. Just as I load in the next one, take a look at how many map templates we have in this server. And we're having to use multiple servers for this video, by the way. We cannot fit all the map templates into this one server. All right, so let's go and start by loading the ramp here. You might be able to see where this one's going, but we've got a couple more to load in first. So let me go and drive up this ramp that leads into the sky, and slowly but surely you will see the track start to load in and kind of get an idea of what we're actually leading into. Now I can barely get the entire track loaded in at once, but this is a scale recreation of the Austrian Grand Prix circuit floating above the Riverside housing suburbs. Now you might be asking yourself, how on earth is this even possible? And let me just say, I did not create this track. Right, so let's go and line up here on the start with Ollie. We're going to do one lap, just one lap here around this floating track. And, well, the main objective is not to fall off, honestly. If we can stay on the track, then at least that's a win. So 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, it's a very slow start from both of us here, but you can kind of jump the corners on the inside here. As you can see, you don't need all 4 wheels on the track at all times once you have a bit of balance anyways. I'm going into the second corner though. Look at this, we can cut off so much of the corner, although that was a pretty terrible exit from us. Ollie's now gapping us quite substantially here, so I've got to do something in the second part of the lap. Yeah, you can see how much you can cut the corners. I don't know, I just find these tracks so much more fun when you have the risk of quite literally falling off the track. But you can also cut the corners quite a bit. So it's playing with the risk, I suppose. Oh, as Ollie slides all around there. And oh, it might be quite tight over the finish line here, just behind Ollie, but I think he's going to hold on to this win there. It's a really fun track, though. This one, I believe, comes in about 9 templates, 10 including the ramp to get up here. If you're curious, this is basically just made of hundreds of FD dump tanks stuck together and turned upside down. Again, I did not create this track, and I do not think many people can, if you get what I mean. Gonna load in the next one, which is this. A speed bump. Now, for those of you who've been playing the game for more than 10 minutes, you might realize this is a bit larger than the usual DOT speed bumps we have, and that's because it is created with hundreds of DOT speed bumps tied together to create this massive thing. So we're going to bucket it down Riverside and see how far we can launch our car using this, I guess, a mini ramp, I suppose you could call it. We'll spin around here and begin our run. This should be plenty of time to get the Mustang up to top speed, and we'll see how far we can launch this thing. The main problem we have is actually the height. A lot of cars are not going to be able to clear this and get stuck quite easily. Oh, wow, that was underwhelming. Now we leveled up to the Lamborghini. We should be able to clear this once we don't hit top speed, I believe. Acceleration should give us plenty of time to get up to, I'd say 150, and we'll try hit it around that. All right, that's 150 now. Oh, launch. Nice. Okay, end up on the roof there. You see what I mean? Definitely get a lot of launch from that, and maybe the Porsche can go even further. Who knows? Now we switch servers for the next one, and this one's strange. Let me go and load this in and just show you what I mean. As you can see here, we have a bunch of new road markings on the road that actually fit in pretty well with the default ones we have in game, presumably so you can use them for construction role plays. You can see here they're basically flush to the ground, and you can't do this with any prop in the game. But if we go into FreeCam and have a look under the map, these are all concrete barriers that are just barely sticking out above the map there. So you can see them, and they basically just look like painted lines on the road, just like the default ones we have in the game. And you can see we can use them for some pretty cool road diversions. Instead of having barriers everywhere, we can just have painted lines on the ground directing traffic, which is really cool for a lot of roleplay servers. I'll just give you a quick run through of how this works, but you can see if we pull up here, they have a bunch of road markings in this intersection directing traffic on where to go, and you can see the road lines for each traffic. So we're going to head through here, obviously running a red, but it's far from our biggest issue here. Honestly, this is so cool and pretty creative. Like, I've never seen anyone do anything like this with the props we have available in game. They've even crossed out the only turning left arrow there, since the traffic's coming from the other side. So it's pretty cool. And if you wanted to as well, you could hop on DOT and put some barriers up here, add it out, flesh it out like a proper scene, but not too much to show off in this video, but a really cool one for roleplay servers. By the way, I highly recommend going and checking out ERLC, which is our completely free ERLC marketplace. Liveries, map templates, uniforms, anything you want or need for your private server. And we have a couple of that we're going to check out from here as well. So the next one is this, a traffic calming chicane. And I don't know about you, but this doesn't make me feel any calmer. I don't know what's going on here. So we're going to load this into the server and take a look at how we're supposed to navigate this. Here we are arriving at this. So I presume we're just going to stay in our lane of travel and follow the barriers here. Now these are encroaching on our lane. These are definitely not in a straight line here. So we continue forwards, basically switching to the left side of the road. Again, I'm not sure why. Surely there's a psychological reason for this or whatever, but yeah, we're basically crossing lanes of travel. It's like one of those figure of 8 tracks. And then from here we can choose to go right over the dam or continue straight over onto the highway. And they've even got this area, so traffic coming from this way you can cross over. I guess is very confusing. I'm going to turn around. Coming from this way, we can stay here, and I believe we both merge into the one lane, yes. So I'm going to yield. No traffic is coming. We merge into this lane. Then we have to wait for the oncoming traffic to pass by. We drive straight over here. We don't go in this, so we pass technically onto the left side of the road. I tell you, British servers would love this. This is very tight though. We pass through here, just wide enough to fit our car. And then yet again, we cross over oncoming traffic before returning to our side of the road. I know, someone in the comments is going to have to tell me what the purpose of this is. It's pretty cool, but I just do not understand how that's supposed to calm traffic. We're back again on ERLC, and I thought we'd group the crazy driving interchanges into one segment of this video. So the next one we have is what I believe is a diamond interchange here. Yes, a diverging diamond interchange. Learning a new thing every day here, but this one looks even more complicated, I think. We'll give this one a try though. We'll load it in. So we have arrived at the diverging diamond interchange. Loading into the game now, and we've got to figure out what we're supposed to do here. So again, we're crossing over to the incorrect lane of travel. So we switch to the left side, they switch to the right. Again, I'm not sure why. Surely there's a reason for this. They exist in real life, so I'm guessing there's a good reason for them existing. And then we switch back over to the correct side of the road. That's too confusing for me. If I want to turn onto the highway, simply turn right. That's nice and easy. If we want to go onto the highway off ramp here, it's left. That's pretty easy as well. It's a very tight left, but it is definitely possible. Ollie's struggling to get his truck around that corner there. And then if we want to enter Springfield, we just switch back over to the right. So we're coming from the highway this time, and we are faced with a massive concrete bollard as soon as we stop at the end here. So I guess it kind of does make sense. If we want to turn left, we don't have to cross the lane of travel. We simply take a left here and carry on. And if we want to take a right, as usual, you just take a right. So I do see the benefits in it, kind of. This one is very tight, obviously, due to the nature of where it's built in game, but I guess I'm kind of seeing the benefits of it, although wouldn't it just be easier to cross the lanes of traffic? I don't know. Now, funnily enough, with the current map at least, we do not have any guardrails in the middle of the highway, and even the ones on the outside of the highway are only in certain spots. So someone went through all of the effort of placing down thousands of guardrails lining all sides of the highways. You might have seen these in European roleplay servers. They're very popular over here because our highways are a lot smaller. In the US, you know, don't necessarily have guardrails everywhere, but yeah, it's kind of cool to have guardrails around the entire highway, in the middle as well. Of course, you still have the turn lanes there. But yeah, you've got barriers all around to prevent drivers from going into oncoming traffic. And trust me, this has been very useful. For some reason, everyone in our roleplay server loved to drive on the wrong side of the road. So this did reduce the amount of oncoming traffic. It's a cool one to have. Honestly, not too much to say about it, but yeah, useful one for your roleplay server. We have switched servers again for the next track, and if you know anything about motorsports, you might already be able to guess which track we are loading in next. Yes, it is another floating track, but I gotta say, this one is pretty cool. After a good few minutes of loading in all the layouts needed for this track, we're gonna drive up onto the Spa circuit. This is, again, a recreation of a real-life Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit. Unfortunately, we do not have any elevation. As you can see, the track is completely flat. Unlike real life, there's no massive hills and bumps anywhere on this track. It is completely flat, but they do have a working pit lane on this one, which you can drive through. So we're going to line up here about where the start line would be, wait for Ollie to drive up, and we'll do a lap. We only need to do one lap on this one because it is massive. Cannot even load in the entire track at once. All right, there he is, pulling up now. So, oh, wow. Okay. Starting on a grid procedure then, I see. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. For this track, you can kind of cut through the pit lane here, but we'll just prevent that for the sake of good racing here. But we can cut quite a bit of the first corner there. Nearly pushed Ollie off the map though, as we come up the hill. It would be in real life. It is completely flat here though, and we can send it completely flat as well. Wow. Okay. I was trying to avoid pushing Ollie off, but in the end, I just went straight on. You can see as we're down here, the other parts of the track loading in, and this goes around the entire county. Still not entirely loaded in as well. We've got a couple of random people who've just joined the server, so I guess they're going to be taking part in this race as well. Let's go and line up again, and we'll reattempt that race. All right, and we are off. Ollie and I to a good start here, but the Corvette is in the lead. Unsurprisingly, maybe. Let's just take this nice and easy. No slipstream in ERLC. We've got no wind physics in game, so cannot stick behind other drivers, but we're basically side by side through the entire first section there, which is quite impressive. Let's try and make a move on this Corvette in a moment as they nearly fall off the inside of the map there. Might be able to go around them. Nope, nope. They quickly close that off. Oh, Corvette spins around on the inside there. And we're about halfway through the lap here, going over the county prison at the moment. No! No! All right, they're gonna give me a ride. My car just went straight off the side. I couldn't even save it. I just got both right wheels off. There you go, nice and slow through the last chicane, and we make it through one lap there, the only driver to remain. As you can see, very challenging and long track with a lot of corners that are very easy to fall off in, but it's quite a bit of fun when you get it right. Up next is this one, a military base with quite a few unique techniques used. So we can see we've got the double high fences there surrounding the outside. I like the clipping here with the concrete barriers and the crowd fences. Then we can get into the entrance. My favorite bit, however, is if we back up just a bit and let's say, for example, military base goes onto a lockdown, we can use the command load layout lockdown, and that will spawn a couple of barriers here. And you can see they tried to recreate the ones that came out of the ground. They kind of roll up there with the flashing lights on top and the concrete barriers. It's pretty cool, honestly. I mean, given the limitations we have in game, I think that's the best you could ask for. So yeah, that's the base on lockdown here with all the fences surrounding the outside, and presumably there'll be a lot of military personnel surrounding there. We'll go and head over to the second entrance over at Springfield though, just show you that off quickly. So here we go, arriving at the second entrance. A lot more modest, a lot quieter over here. You've got a bay that the military police can stand in, check IDs, all of that. We'll go and open up the gate though, just to let ourselves in. And then they've got concrete barriers running the perimeter of the entrance here with a couple of gaps that you can walk through. But overall, it's pretty cool. Again, not too much to show off in this video, but a really cool one for roleplay servers and definitely a lot nicer looking than the one I created for some of my videos. And of course, to wrap this video up, we have to go back to ERLC and find some crazy map layout. This one is a Riverside bus lane conversion. I don't entirely know what I'm getting myself into, but we got a couple of map templates. So let's load them in and figure out what this is. We both got buses. Ollie's gone for the metro bus, which I feel is going to be a bit difficult to get that in and around this conversion, but yeah, we've gone for the smaller shuttle bus. I feel like this one's a bit easier for my skill level. So we're coming down onto Riverside. So we take the left in here. It says do not enter, but I'm pretty sure that's just for regular traffic. So we can drive ourselves into there. Good luck, Ollie, navigating that bus. I might just get it in. And so we can drive up here and then park up at the bus stop. Unfortunately, on the wrong side of the door for us. Come on, Ollie. Oh, look at that. You got it in? It should. Yeah, there you go. Fair play. So we park at the bus stop. Unfortunately, the doors are on the wrong side, but that doesn't really matter. Anyways, once they get off the bus, they can walk along here, and we've got a nice little zebra crossing. I don't know what you call it in America. Pedestrian crossing, maybe. We can hop back into our bus, though, once we've loaded all our passengers up, and we can continue down here. We have what looks to be a half roundabout. So I believe traffic can go around this like a normal roundabout, and then we just drive straight through the roundabout, possibly. So we drive through here. This is again like a bus lane, quote unquote bus lane. We drive through yet another roundabout, and we have another bus stop. So this is like one of those tram lanes or designated bus lanes they have in the middle of the road. Again, we've got a bus stop here. Passengers hop off. They can walk across the road there and I guess head over to hospital. And then up here is where I believe we go back onto the main road. So yes, we have another, I'm not sure what intersection you call this, but I guess from here we either take a left up into the city or we take a right and rejoin the regular traffic. It's kind of cool though. I would not have thought of that, to be honest. So pretty creative. Anyways, thank you for watching. I thought it was worth highlighting some of the crazy map templates people have made over the past year or so before the summer update comes out and we get a clean slate. If you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.